way humans did 50,000 years ago. No farming, no technology, no permanent houses. Yet they hunt with greater accuracy than modern hunters, read the forest better than satellites, and preserve a primitive culture that is slowly disappearing. Today, we follow the footsteps of the HADZABE tribe, a people anthropologists call living witnesses of human history. Join us on this journey. Get ready, because this experience may change how you see survival, humanity, and even yourself. A day in the life of the HADZABE begins at dawn, accompanied by birdsong echoing through the forest. They wake up and prepare their handmade bows, spears, and woven baskets, simple tools that carry immense power and are essential for survival in the wild. HADZABE hunters sharpen arrowheads with hands hardened by years of labor. The arrows are coated with poison extracted from the desert rose tree, a toxin capable of paralyzing an animal's lungs within minutes. Every step is a challenge. One wrong step, and an entire day of hunting may fail. When we join them on a hunt, we leave camp in complete silence. They can track prey for hours, run dozens of kilometers, and wait with almost endless patience. They read the land like an ancient manuscript. A broken branch, a faint scent in the air, warm footprints, slightly disturbed soil. After nearly an hour, signs of baboons begin to appear. Each successful hunt brings not only food, but also living stories retold by the fire at night, forming a unique archive of intangible cultural heritage. For the Hadza, hunting is not just about survival. It is an art, a cultural ritual. And everyone freezes. The hunt has begun. Risk, challenge, and triumph blend together, shaping the distinctive rhythm of Hadza life. Each member of the tribe plays a role. The elders pass down experience. Children learn survival skills. Young men hunt, and women gather wild foods. Everything flows in harmony, like the heartbeat of the community itself. They do not fight nature. They read it. They understand it. They live with it. Though nothing is written down, their lived experience is a profound lesson in resilience, patience, and inherited intelligence. Lessons modern humans can still learn from the Hadza. After the hunt, the meal becomes a living testament to their philosophy of harmony with nature. Meat is cooked directly over open fire. Some wild vegetables are eaten raw or lightly cooked, preserving their natural flavors. They eat the liver while it is still warm, freshly hunted. Every bite tells the story of the hunt. Fire is not just for cooking. It is the heart of the camp, where people gather to share laughter, wisdom, and hunting tales. Food is shared equally. Even the hunter who fired the final arrow does not receive more than others. This is equality-based sharing, the foundation of survival in hunter-gatherer societies. Each meal is a symphony of nature. The sweetness of wild fruit, the scent of smoke, the richness of roasted meat, and stories of endurance, survival, and victory over hardship. Walking alongside the Hadza, we realize this truth. True value does not lie in what we own, but in how we connect with one another and with nature. The more you understand them, the more you see yourself, the history of humanity, what we have left behind, and what we are slowly losing. Please like the video, share this story, and subscribe to our channel so we can continue exploring ancient cultures that are disappearing. Because when you walk with us, these stories continue to live, just as the Hadza have lived for 50,000 years. Amid the wild landscapes of northern Tanzania, where the wind whispers through sparse treetops and the earth still bears the footprints of countless animals, there remains a tribe living much as their ancestors did thousands of years ago, the HADZABE. They survive on what nature offers them: hunting, gathering, fire-making, and sharing. In this journey, we follow them through daily life, thrilling hunts, untamed meals, and the ways they preserve their ancient traditions in a rapidly modernizing world. The HADZABE have existed for thousands of years, living primarily in northern Tanzania. They are one of the last tribes to maintain a lifestyle nearly identical to that of early humans in prehistoric times. From simple, grass-thatched huts, HADZABE men rise at dawn, preparing for their morning hunt. They sharpen knives and grind stones, crafting bows and arrows, testing the tension of each bowstring. These instinctive, well-practiced movements turn the rawest elements of nature into weapons that have sustained their people for generations. Silently, the hunters leave the camp, carrying tools meticulously prepared beforehand. They rely on millennial-old knowledge and their heightened senses to read the signs of wildlife. Footsteps fall lightly as they weave through the brush, attentive to trembling branches or fresh tracks pressed into the moist earth. Hunts usually begin at dawn or dusk, depending on the behavior of each animal. The hunters move quietly, trailing footprints and listening for the slightest sound around them. For the HADZABE, hunting is not merely a survival skill, it is a rite of passage. From a young age, children follow seasoned hunters into the wilderness, learning by watching every movement of the generations before them. They combine experience, intuition, and patience to close the distance between themselves and their prey. Once an animal is spotted, the hunters employ age-old strategies, honed through countless hunts. Arrows are released, and a breath-holding chase unfolds across the savannah, a living painting set against the vast African plains. When the hunt is successful, the group returns together to begin their wild feast. They gather wood, start a fire, carve the animal, and prepare for the communal meal. Some tear off pieces of meat still pink and warm, savoring the reward after a long pursuit. Others taste the fresh organs. To them, this is not savagery. It is a profound respect for the life given, ensuring nothing is wasted. Everyone sits in a circle, without tables or individual portions. Meat is passed from hand to hand, from hunter to women to children. They eat in silence, accompanied only by the wind and rustling leaves. Yet within that quiet lies the unbroken thread that has sustained their people through thousands of harsh, untamed years. For the HADZABE, a meal is not just nourishment. It is a small celebration of victory and sharing. The world outside changes at a breathtaking pace. Smartphones, social media, vehicles, skyscrapers rising across the planet. But in a remote, sun-scorched corner of Tanzania, the HADZABE remain faithful to the ancient rhythms of life their ancestors once lived. Unlike most peoples, the HADZABE do not farm or raise livestock. They live solely on what nature provides. They are among the last remaining hunter-gatherer communities on Earth. No fields, no permanent houses, no modern tools. Everything essential to their simple existence comes from the forest, the wind, and the earth. Even in the 21st century, they communicate using a unique click-based language, sharp sounds made with the tongue, distinct from any other language in the world. Day after day, life unfolds quietly on the wild plains. At dawn, men set out with their handmade bows. Women and children wander into the forest to gather berries. When the sun dips below the horizon, the entire tribe gathers around the fire, sharing their catch and retelling the day's stories. For this ancient people, nature is both challenge and refuge, the source of food, connection, and cultural identity passed down through countless generations. How long can such a way of life endure amid the tides of globalization? The question lingers without an answer. Yet perhaps, as long as HADZABE smoke rises into the early morning sky, a fragment of humanity's past continues quietly, steadfastly alive. The wind whispers through the dry forest. Insects chirp incessantly. At the fragile boundary between night and day, a small spark flickers, two dry sticks striking against each other. Since the earliest days when humans roamed the wild, fire has been the most sacred element. It chases away the darkness, warms the body, and ignites hope. And nowhere on Earth preserves these truths more clearly than the HADZABE tribe, one of the last hunting and gathering communities in existence. Join us as we return to the source of life, where the fire never dies, and the human spirit continues to blaze across the vast wilderness of Tanzania. The wind sweeps through the dry treetops. Insects weave the soundtrack of a Tanzanian dawn. Hadza women dig their hands into the dry soil, pulling up roots that sustain the entire community. Nearby, men kindle the fire while children gather around, warming themselves in the thin smoke and listening to ancestral stories passed down through generations. A spark ignites, born from nothing more than two dry sticks rubbing together, like the very first breath of life. For the Hadza, there are no matches, no lighters, only ancestral skills passed down over 50,000 years. That fire is the thread connecting them and us. In the depths of the forest, fire is not just life. It is the soul of an entire people. Survival skills are a heritage to be understood, respected, and preserved for future generations. The fierce chase between humans and nature ends in labored breaths, sweat mingling with dust. On their sun-kissed faces glimmers the joy of victory, the triumph of hunters who have faced the challenge with the strongest instincts for survival. They return to the village, cheers ringing through the wilderness like a song of life harmonizing with the African forest wind. Smoke rises thickly in the forest. Fresh red meat is placed directly on glowing embers. The sizzling of fat fills the air, and the aroma spreads across the woods. They eat the meat, the entrails, even parts not fully cooked. Not out of crudeness, but because they believe that eating meat while it is fresh absorbs the strongest life force from the prey, a belief rooted in the philosophy. Take only what nature gives and be grateful for it. Perhaps in the scent of smoke and the taste of char lies humanity's most primal flavor, the flavor of sharing. No one eats alone. Everything is shared. Yet the lesson of the HADZABE lingers. In a world awash with artificial light, the HADZABE teach us, to understand the future, we must first honor the past. In the arid lands surrounding Lake Eyasi, Tanzania, the HADZABE people don't just survive, they redefine what survival means. They are expert hunters, yet they must constantly share their territory with an even fiercer predator, the lion. And when the scent of fresh meat drifts across the savannah, the hunt is no longer about chasing prey. It becomes a battle to reclaim their prize from the claws of the Lion King. Will human cunning, armed only with wooden bows and poison-tipped arrows, be enough to take back their meal from nature's most powerful hunter, or will they pay for their boldness in blood? As the dry season returns, it brings with it a new wave of brutal challenges for both humans and animals. Water disappears, and large prey like antelopes and zebras begin to migrate, drawing behind them packs of hungry lions. For the HADZABE tribe, food grows scarcer, and danger multiplies with every step. Today, the challenge the Hadza tribe faces isn't about hunting prey. It's about confronting the thief that steals it. The lion, powerful, alert, and utterly merciless. Lions, living in hunting and prides, possess overwhelming strength. Once they bring down their prey, their dominance is absolute. The air is thick with the scent of fresh meat, blood, and lion droppings, forming a terrifying no-go zone. The HADZABE have learned to decode these warning signs. They can read the lion's location by the height of circling vultures. For the HADZABE, the greatest loss isn't the effort wasted, but the precious source of nourishment about to be devoured. They cannot let their hard-earned meal vanish into the belly of the king of beasts. Each hunter has a distinct role in the group's formation. Every move is executed with precision, resembling a sacred ceremony more than simple preparation for a hunt. Beside them, dried bird feathers are tied to arrow shafts, helping the arrows fly straighter and steadier against the wind. Most crucial of all are their poison-tipped arrows, coated with the deadly resin of the desert rose tree, capable of paralyzing large prey, and in extreme cases, used to ward off even the mightiest foe. Before setting out on their perilous journey, the seasoned hunters of the HADZABE tribe gather around the fire. They prepare their gear, perform silent rituals, and share hard-earned wisdom with the younger hunters. As dawn breaks, the silhouettes of the HADZABE slip quietly out of camp, ready for a life-or-death confrontation. They choose their positions carefully according to the wind's direction, hyper-focused to ensure their scent doesn't betray them. The smell of a human is the clearest warning signal a lion can sense. From a distance, they watch the pride of lions, silent as shadows beneath the blazing golden sun, or track the circling vultures overhead to pinpoint where the king of beasts is feasting. From within the tall grass, the lion watches back, its cold, amber eyes glinting with suspicion. Their goal isn't to kill the lion, only to create enough risk to make it retreat. Bowstrings tighten, and poison-tipped arrows are drawn, ready to strike. The HADZABE know the lion understands what that arrow means, a slow, agonizing death. The great beast hesitates, then turns away. In that split second, a poisoned arrow shoots through the air. Moments later, the HADZABE man lifts the abandoned carcass high above his head as the sound of dogs barking in triumph echoes through the forest. 1. Their joy lies not only in the meat they've won back, but in the reaffirmation of their primal instinct, that they are still master hunters, skilled and fearless enough to stand against the rulers of the savannah. The confrontation is over, and this time, victory belongs to the HADZABE. They understand that true reward doesn't come only from food, but from skill, unity, and the hard-earned wisdom of surviving in the wild. As the fire dies down and only glowing embers remain, the savannah returns to its quiet calm, waiting for the trials of the coming night. And tomorrow, when the first light of dawn touches the edge of the rocks, a new battle will begin once more, part of the eternal rhythm of life on the savannah. Located in northern Tanzania, on the edge of the Great Rift Valley, the HADZABE tribe has a population of only about 1,300 people. They have no farmland, no permanent homes. Instead, they live in small bands, each member connected by blood ties and by a shared belief that nature is their true home. What makes the HADZABE remarkable isn't just their hunting and gathering traditions, but the fact that they preserve this way of life for tens of thousands of years. No ownership, no accumulation, no hierarchy of wealth. Everything is based on sharing and community, a social model the modern world has almost completely forgotten. In a HADZABE world, there is no alarm clock. The first light of dawn gently wakes everyone, a reminder that nature is ready for a new day's journey. We begin by preparing the bows and arrows, finely crafted handmade weapons used for hunting both large and small animals. One remarkable detail: they never use poison-tipped arrows for small animals. Poison is reserved only for larger game, and even then, it's handled with strict caution and deep respect for nature. Every action follows an unchanging principle: hunt just enough to live, never take more than what is needed. We follow the Hadza honey hunters deep into the Mayombo woodlands, where the secrets of gathering wild honey have been passed down for tens of thousands of years.
Similar.
Climbing trees that rise dozens of meters high, they face swarms of notoriously aggressive African bees, the risk of slipping, and even arboreal snakes hidden among the leaves. The smoke from a bundle of herbal grasses calms the bees for only a few minutes, far too short for a task this dangerous. On the ground, HADZABE children quietly observe. For the HADZABE, honey is more than just food. It is a symbol of a profound truth. Survival comes from respecting nature and understanding one's own limits. The golden drops of honey are not only naturally sweet, they are precious energy in this harsh, dry landscape. Each harvest stands as a testament to the enduring bond between humans and the natural world. After lunch, we join the HADZABE in their small game hunt, an essential source of food for the tribe. The HADZABE hunters move in complete silence, focusing on footprints, faint rustles, and every subtle sign around them. They use specialized arrows designed for small animals, always treating the prey with respect as part of the greater cycle of life. The prey taken today may not be the large animals you often see in videos, but to the HADZABE, it is no less valuable, because whatever the forest gives is a gift of life worthy of gratitude. We return to camp. The fire crackles gently. Cooking smoke drifts with the wind, spreading across the savanna. The meal is prepared in the simplest way. Fresh meat laid directly on glowing embers, wild roots roasted in the fire, honey eaten straight from the comb. Children finish the leftover honey, learning to respect every source of food. The elders savor small pieces of meat, their eyes reflecting deep gratitude for the land. HADZABE women gather the food, guide the process, and pass their knowledge on to the young. Here, eating is more than filling the stomach. It is a ritual of gratitude for nature, the sun, and the ancestors who walked this land before them. And as you sit there, you begin to understand what the HADZABE have carried for tens of thousands of years. Happiness does not come from possession. It comes from connection with nature, with community, and with the values that make us human. A day with the HADZABE is not just an experience. It's a reminder that sometimes